You're watching the official Joselines Cabaret after show only on Damien After Dark. Look, I'm so excited to have you here with me. It's going to be a great night. We're going to get into some things, baby, okay? Better believe we're going to talk about it all. This is season 4, episode 3. Jocelyn's Cabaret, New York City. How are you guys liking the season so far? How are we liking it? Are we liking the season so far? I'm enjoying it. The first 2 episodes started a little slow, but we're gaining traction. We're gaining momentum. We saw this episode, the girls finally moved into the house. We're going to talk about that. I feel like some alliances are kind of starting to form. You know, people are getting comfortable, getting their feet wet, figuring out what is going on. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. But before we do that, what happened to having a regular intro? Every single episode we watch this season, we have to watch a Jocelyn Hernandez music video. Because for those that are not watching, if you're just here for the recap, every episode that we watch, you know how like when a show starts, you'll get an intro. For instance, The Housewives do the little taglines, right? Or on Baddies, they might have their little intro of them walking out, showing their names, you know. Well, with Jocelyn's Cabaret, you would think we'd get an intro and get to know these girls by name, but instead we get a Jocelyn Hernandez music video every single episode. And in this music video, she was on the toilet taking a shit. I'm like, okay, Jocelyn, I guess we ran out of ideas. In jail, mind you. She was in a prison cell in a jumpsuit, sitting on the toilet with her pants down. Did y'all see that? Now, last week we saw Natural run up on Yummy and give Yummy a run for her money, okay? We all know there's this beef between Natural and Yummy ever since Yummy put a high heel into the back of Natural's head. So, last week, Jocelyn chose Natural to join the cabaret. And she said, come down here with the other girls and take your place, Natural. As soon as Natural started walking towards her spot, she runs up on Yummy and pop, pop. She gets a couple licks in, but Natural says she didn't get her like she wanted to get her. And I understand where she's coming from. You know when somebody's like really done some fucked up shit to you, whether it's like physical, whatever, you want to get them back. And you might get your lick back, but you didn't get your lick back the way you wanted to get your lick back. That makes sense? So I understood where Natural was coming from when she said that. And Yummy, you can't play victim. Yummy, you can't play the victim because of what you did. Take your ass whooping and move on. Now, security gives Natural and Yummy one more chance to just fight it out after Natural attacks Yummy, right? They give him one more chance. Okay, y'all fight it out. Get it over with. So Natural runs up on Yummy. And Yummy is legit scared. Did y'all see? Yummy is scared. She's putting her hands up. She's like, no, wait. And then bop, bop, bop. They go at it again. Yummy, your name should be Pussy P and not Yummy P. Because all the smoke you had for Natural when she was bent down, all the smoke you had when she was vulnerable and not paying attention, where's that smoke now? Because you're showing us that you can only fight Yummy when you sneak somebody. You can't fight when you're face to face. You gotta wait until their back is turned or they're hunched down. That's what it's showing to me. I don't know about you, but that's what it says to me. All right? Yummy might as well go home because she gonna get her ass whooped every single day that she's there. And I can't say that I don't blame Natural. Not only did you put a spiked high heel shoe in the back of my head, ho, you embarrassed me on national TV. I gotta get you back. Now, Jocelyn tells Yummy and Natural that they both need to chill. Y'all gotta chill out. You both got your licks in. It's time for y'all to chill out. But Jocelyn, you're the last one that needs to be telling anybody to chill. I know it's your cabaret. It's Jocelyn's show. I get it. But Are you really the example to be led on when it's coming to chill? The way you was smacking and slapping everybody in sight at that Floyd Mayweather fight? Speaking of that Floyd Mayweather fight, did y'all see where the judge over Joseline's case wants her in jail? He does not want her out on bond. He does not want her out on house arrest. He wants her to surrender to the jail. So I'm guessing that means what? She's got a warrant? I don't know. I haven't looked deep into it, but I know TMZ reported it. And I saw the video where the judge was telling her attorneys, we want her behind bars and she will not be able to be released. And the reason why is not because she hit all those people at the Floyd Mayweather fight. The judge is pissed because she put her hands on those cops. The cops that tried to arrest her. Remember, I posted the body cam footage here. We talked about it here. That's why the judge is mad. When you put your hands on a police officer, you're going to do some time. And I think Joseline, unless she's got a good lawyer and fixing to put down a chunk of money, I think she's fixing to do fixing to have to sit down. Did y'all see that? Did y'all know that? And to be honest with y'all, she needs to. I feel like that's going to be her wake-up call if she goes and sits down for, a couple months. Because Joseline thinks that she's above the law. She thinks she can put her hand on anybody. And just like if me or you at home would have slapped 10 people at the Floyd Mayweather fight and kicked and spit on cops and did all that shit, we would be in jail too. Now, Natural and Yummy both got their spot in the Cabaret. They were chosen, which I kind of figure, because here's the thing. The producers are not going to bring back these old girls, these OG girls, Daisy, Natural, Yummy, Wet. They're not going to bring them back and pay them just to send them home. You know what I mean? They've invested in them. A lot of these new girls that are on TV for the first time, yeah, they may have got paid a few, some crumbs. But the girls who have been on the show before, they're getting paid something. So the producers are not going to invest in them just for them to get sent home, episode 1, 2, and 3. So I already knew that Daisy, Wet, Natural, Yummy, all these girls who had been on the show prior, I already knew that they were going to be in the house regardless. They were going to make it through the first round. That part is staged. They've invested in them. Zeus has invested in them. They just have to audition like the rest of the girls so it doesn't look staged. Kind of like the rest of the auditions, the Baddies East auditions, the Bad Boys auditions. Just like we talk about those being staged sometimes. Now, one of these girls that Joseline chooses to come into the house starts crying. Like, you would have thought this girl had literally just won the Publishers Clearinghouse. Y'all know when them people come to your door and knock and they got the balloons and the big check, that commercial. You would have thought this just happened to this girl because she was like crying. But my thing is, you crying now, but you gonna be crying when you get in that house and Joseline knocks the wind out of you. The way she dog walks y'all and don't give a fuck about y'all. You crying now, mama. You really gonna be crying when you get in that house. And Joseline even tells her, bitch, I don't even see a tear. Like, you over here all this fake ass crying, I don't even see a fucking tear coming out your eye. And we didn't. It looked like an act to me. So the next girl she chooses to go into the house is a girl by the name of Abby. And Abby is the really tall transgender girl with the long brown hair. I didn't really know she was trans at first because this girl has auditioned for every Zeus show that ever came out. Did y'all recognize her? She was at the Baddies auditions, Baddies East and Baddies West, if I'm not mistaken. And I guess she finally got chosen for Joseline's Cabaret. I never knew she was trans until she had said it, I think, during one of the Baddies auditions that she did. So Joseline chooses her, real tall girl, and she says, thank you for choosing me. And she's crying too. She says, they want me to die, but I want to live. I want to live, Joseline. I want to work in the cabaret and live through you. And I'm just like, I get being excited to be chosen for something, but again, this is Jocelyn's fucking Cabaret. It's not that hard to get picked for this show. The criteria is very the bar is low. Okay? To be on Jocelyn's Cabaret. Throw a bra on, throw a thong on, put some heels on, throw you a 30-inch wig on, and bitch, show up and pop your pussy and you'll get chosen. It's that simple. But again, these girls you would have thought had, just won American Idol, just won the Publishers Clearinghouse, had just hit the lottery. Am I being insensitive? Because here's the thing, I'm a crier. I cry over a lot of things. So maybe I shouldn't be judging these girls. But I guess it's just because it's like, do y'all not know what you're getting yourself into? Did you not watch season 1, 2, and 3? Why are you crying? Because we can give you a reason to cry about. Now I thought, one thing, did y'all notice, like, there was a big girl that Jocelyn chose. Did y'all notice? I thought it was very rude. Jocelyn told the big girl that she had to spend more time in the mirror than any other girl that was there. You got potential. You're going to be good, but you got to spend more time in the mirror than anybody else here. I'm like, who the fuck says that? That is so rude. Like, what? Like, where is your home training, Jocelyn? And at the end of the day, at the end of the auditions, we see that Jocelyn chose all the OG girls like I had predicted. Granted, Lucky's gone. Y'all remember last episode, she told Lucky to get out. Get out. But I don't think that's the last we'll see of Lucky. Okay? The producers are going to want Lucky back. Again, they've invested in her. She's been paid. That was Jocelyn's ego and anger that sent her home. But I can guarantee you the producers are going to be like, Jocelyn, we really want Lucky back. We need to find a way to incorporate her back into the show. We're going to get her to come to your room. We're going to film a scene. And she's going to say she wants to come back. And you're going to let her come back. I don't see Lucky being gone. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Lucky is gone for good? Do y'all think she's ran out of luck? Or do you think Lucky is in luck and she will get invited back into the Cabaret? Because Jocelyn didn't necessarily say get out and go home. She just said get out of the club they were at. They were the auditions. So maybe she just wanted her out of that moment, I got like 3 or 4 pages of notes, y'all. So I'm trying to go through this quick because we only have 30 minutes with each other. So we see Jocelyn tell Ballistic that this season she doesn't want to move the girls in. She doesn't want to be the one that goes to the house and tells the girls, here's the house, go in and get your room. She doesn't want to do that this year. This year she wants to have someone host these girls. She feels like it's below her to go and invite the girls into the house. I mean, it is your show, Jocelyn. I don't know why you feel like you're beneath it. Anyway, Jocelyn ends up calling her choreographer Ricardo. Y'all, we saw Ricardo in episode 2, I believe. 1 and 2, maybe. But Ricardo is going to play a big part in this season. Unlike the last few seasons, we never really saw the choreographers that much. We're going to be seeing a lot of him. He's going to be helping the girls with their routines. He's the one who welcomes the girls to the Cabaret, lets them go in the house and pick their rooms. It's almost like he's the host, if that makes sense. I feel like he's hosting this show. And season 4 is already giving like fresh and different. It feels fresh and different. And Ricardo's got confessionals. He's got interviews, So he'll be a part of the show for sure. We'll be seeing more of him. So the girls are on the bus. They get on the bus and they're heading to the house. And I was thinking that they were going to have the girls like in a penthouse in New York City or something, but I know that would probably be very expensive. So the girls have a house in Long Island. I guess they'll stay in Long Island and then they'll drive into the city when they're performing and they're rehearsing and all that. And I think it's Long Island. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Jocelyn said it was Long Island. Somewhere outside of New York City itself, Now, I want to know what Y'all know the girl they call Blow Up Doll. The girl with the white girl with the big lips, blonde hair, big tits, big ass, just everything fake on her, right? What is her issue with Lucky? That's what I'm trying to figure out. On the bus, the girls bring up Lucky and how Jocelyn told her to get out. You know, they're wondering if she'll come back, whatnot. And the blow up doll girl, she says she doesn't like Lucky. And no, she says the blow up doll, she says Lucky doesn't like me because I shot the bitch a bird when I got chosen. And then she says Lucky has a goofy face. And I'm like, how are you going to talk about Lucky, who has natural beauty, has never had an injection in her face, and you over here with every filler and type of Botox that you can get, face swollen, puffy, I mean, just botched from head to toe, and then you want to, got the nerve to talk about Lucky. And my thing is, what did Lucky do to her? Do we know? I didn't see any footage of Lucky talking shit about her. I didn't see anything to make this blow-up doll be so pressed, unless she's just looking for attention, looking for a moment, trying to get a storyline, trying to get, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people come on these shows and they look for problems because they want to stand out. They don't want to fade in the background. And the girl is obviously a fan because on the bus she also mentioned Lucky being on season 2 and different things like that. It's like, oh, so you've been watching this show for years and now you're on it. And maybe she didn't like Lucky on the show, so now she's in person with her. She doesn't like her. I don't know. It's just, it's weird. It's giving weird energy, okay? It's giving really weird energy. Now, on the other bus, because there's 2 different buses that these girls are on, because there's a total of like 16 girls that are going into the house. Not all these girls will be staying. But like, I think on the first night, a few of these girls are going home. Now, on the other bus, we have another girl who starts coming for Wet Wet. Y'all see that girl? I think she had pink on. She was more heavy set, thick girl. She had like the auburn colored curly hair. She says, why is Wet Wet here? She can't even dance. I mean, out of nowhere, just starts it with Wet Wet. And listen, let me tell y'all something. I really enjoy Wet Wet. She is entertaining. I see why they wanted her back. She does just enough for me to where it doesn't come off like Biggie or Sydney Star or Chef D. Like I know that Wet Wet provokes people for entertainment and tries to, you know, make a good show. And that's why I don't really get mad at her, because I don't think Wet Wet is necessarily doing it for like, look at me, attention. I think Wet Wet is doing it because she's smart and she studied reality TV and she wants to make a good show, and she does just enough to where it's not like, oh, this girl is just so much. That's my opinion. Y'all might think otherwise. You might think she's the thirstiest bitch Zeus has ever brought on. But I enjoy her. I think she's entertaining. I like that she's herself. She doesn't try to be anybody else. I like Paris and London making appearances left and right. So yeah, this chick is coming for Wet Wet. And I told y'all, the reason the Cabaret is my favorite show on Zeus Network is because it gives me the old school Bad Girls Club vibes. It really does. This show is everything baddies could have been. It was so simple. Get girls we don't know, put them in a mansion, bam. It's a very simple formula. Do y'all not get Bad Girls Club vibes when you watch the Cabaret? I love seeing all these girls that we've never seen, fresh faces, fresh personalities, living in a house. It's just, it's nostalgic. It really is. I like him. Now the house that they're in is very, very, very nice. The budget has gone up with the network from previous seasons. The outside, we only see the outside at first until they get in. Now the girls go outside the house and Ricardo comes out and greets them. Ricardo is the choreographer that I told y'all we will be seeing more of throughout this season. He comes out of the house. The girls are outside of the house with their bags waiting to go in. Ricardo tells them, don't get too comfortable because there's not enough beds in this house for all the girls that are out here. which lets us know that out of these 16 girls, somebody or somebody's is going home. And Ricardo's beard has me distracted. Did anybody else? Because he's an attractive guy. He's handsome, but something about a dude that has a beard that looks unkept. It's a pet peeve of mine. It looks unkept. It looks matted. Come on, Ricardo, clean that ish up. Like, his beard just, like, can we just, like, I just wanted to get my clippers and, like, trim around right there and just, like, shape it up a little bit. So the girls go inside of the house. Now, the house is beautiful on the outside, and it's beautiful on the inside, too. However, there were some things in there that looked a little outdated, like the rugs and the tapestry. Is it tapestry? No, not the tapestry, the curtains. Like, but there were also very modern parts of the home. Like, the home's interior design looked like somebody went in there and said, I want modern and upscale meets vintage. That's what it gave me. Modern, upscale meets vintage. It was very strange, but it was beautiful nonetheless. I would live there. I'd love to live there. I thought it was great. So there's a new girl, or there's not a new girl. One of the girls in the house, Andrea, she's trying to rip a page out of the iconic Judy J from Bad Girls Club New Orleans. I don't like that. Like, unless this is really who you are, Andrea, I don't like when people come on shows and try to be like other reality stars. Andrea, are you going to be the Chef D, the Sydney Star, the Biggie of the group? I hope not. Here's the thing. Andrea's from New Orleans, and she carries around a voodoo doll. Which has a lot of the girls on edge. But my thing is, there's only one reality TV voodoo vixen, and that is the iconic Judy J from BGC Season 7. Andrea, I have a feeling that you watched a lot of BGC, and you studied it, and you came into the house with a caricature in mind of who you wanted to play. And now you're trying to play the Judy of the group, which is kind of smart, I mean, in a way, but we've seen it. If you're going to copy her, at least try to put your own spin on it. I don't know. I do like Andrea, though. And they're already giving her the Gaia edit. Do y'all remember Gaia from last season? Gaia was the one who would show her hairy pussy. She was the one who would try to put a spell on you, would hold the Bible up at you. Well, they're giving Andrea the same edit that they gave Gaia, which is this spooky voodoo witchcraft type edit. You know what I'm saying? And all the girls aren't feeling Andrea because she has a voodoo doll, which I personally wouldn't have cared. It wouldn't have bothered me. But there are people out there who that genuinely bothers. One of these girls, it did bother. The girl with the really short blonde hair, really beautiful girl. She sits down with Andrea and she's talking about, I'm a child of God. I can't deal with voodoo. That's witchcraft. You know, all this, and this, and listen. She says she don't play that, and that's fine. You have to respect people where they are. But my only thing is, I don't like when people, how do I word this? I don't like when people use God as an excuse to shun things when at the same time you're having premarital sex. You're stripping, you're on Joselines Cabaret, you're shaking ass and throwing pussy and whatnot, but you draw the line at voodoo. Now, I'm not saying the girl should be cool with voodoo. I'm not. But it's not like Andrea said, I'm going to do voodoo on all you. She had a voodoo doll. And it just really seemed like the girl was looking for a moment. It was almost giving pick me vibes. Like, you know, trying to figure out the best way I can outline it and say it. But y'all know what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. He who hath cast the first stone, whatever the Bible says. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not no biblical scholar. I don't know much about the Bible, but y'all know them verses. They say something about, I'm going to say it in the book of Damien, okay? I'm going to give y'all my verse in the book of Damien. Don't do no shit that you don't want me to do to you or coming back on you, okay? Um, Now the girl with the blonde hair that I was just talking to you about, she's telling Andrea that voodoo is a witchcraft and she don't fuck with it. And Andrea says that's what you believe. And in this moment, I'm on Andrea's side because I'm able to be open-minded and not so closed-minded and shut off to other people's ideas and beliefs. Now, am I going to agree with you if you over here drinking blood and hail Satan and all this? No, that's not my cup of tea. However, people are so quick to try and force their beliefs on you. But if you have any other belief that is not of the norm, that is taboo, for example, what do I got here? Astrology. Astrology is a good example that a lot of older people think that's witchcraft, that's the devil. You know, it's like, come on now, come on. A lot of people think that astrology is witchcraft, and it's an ignorant ideology. It's an ignorant way to think. A lot, like I said, it's typically a lot of older people. However, a lot of these older generations have taught this to their children, which has been in turn brought down to the grandchildren, and so on and so forth. So we have this typically in the South, this mindset that anything that is crystals and astrology or a voodoo doll, anything like that is straight up witchcraft. You stay away from it. And I just don't believe in that. I'm open-minded. I like to learn. I like to explore. I like to listen before I make a judgment. Um, Now I want to talk about Abby real quick. We're running out of time, but we're almost done here. I really like the energy that the trans girl Abby gives off. Okay, she gives off a very genuine spirit, very very sweet, kind, open, engaging. Doesn't seem like she's messy, doesn't seem like she's extra. The total opposite of Sydney Starr, right? I feel like Sydney Starr gave trans girls a bad reputation, a bad name, but Abby, I really liked her. She seems like somebody that I would get along with, that I would hang out with. She's giving the OG girls their props. She's saying you girls deserve to be here. She's the first trans girl to be on Zeus. And not on Zeus, I'm sorry, on Jocelyn's Cabaret. And I have to give Zeus their flowers for that, because y'all know I'm always going in on Zeus Network for something they're doing. Always. But I have to give them their credit too, because Zeus Network is probably the only network out there that is really giving LGBTQ people a voice, a platform, an opportunity. When it comes to Hollywood and reality TV, just television and entertainment in general, the gay people, the trans people, they've always been the hairstylist, the assistant, the makeup artist. We've never got to be in the spotlight. So that's what I do appreciate and like about Zeus. Even though some would say, oh, they're exploiting this group of people, can't force anybody to do anything. They're all adults on this platform who consent to being on television. Is it wrong? Is it right? Whatever. You can decide on that. However, we have to acknowledge that they are doing, they're giving us, people like me, opportunities. Okay? And they pay more than a lot of these major networks. You go on Bravo, you go on TLC, you go on WeTV, and you do a show for your first time, they're gonna pay you pennies, like $1,000 an episode, if that. You might get lucky and get $1,000 an episode, $500 an episode. But Zeus, I heard they pay pretty decent when you first go on. Now 6 or 7 of the girls are in the kitchen talking. We got Daisy, we got Yummy, we got Wet Wet, we got Andrea, Abby, and Wet Wet brings up her fight with Yummy. She brings that up to Yummy. She's like, she brings up the fight that they had on the bus. So Yummy's like, what's your issue? What's the problem? Because my issue was with Natural. Why did you chime in? Why are we talking about this now? Like, what is the issue? And look, I do agree with Yummy. I'm not Team Yummy when it comes to their fight. However, I do agree with her in that moment because, Wet Wet, you had no place in that argument. that was between her and Natural. Like, what was the issue? Why are you butting in? Yet again, like I said earlier to y'all, Wet Wet knows what she is doing. She could be like Daisy and sit there and say nothing and fade in the background. But when you're on reality TV, if if you're normally that person that is quiet, doesn't say much, you can't do that. You got to speak up. You've got to have a voice. You've got to speak your opinion, say things. Because if you don't, they're not going to ask you back. There's a reason they asked Wet Wet to come back. I'm surprised they asked Daisy to come back. I would have rather it had Saf. Remember on season 1 that Daisy was on? There was only like 6 girls on that season. I would have probably rather had any other girl on there than Daisy. Daisy's a pretty girl. She's beautiful. She gives me Kim K vibes, but she's kind of just like watching paint dry. She's not the most interesting to watch. But yeah, they knew what they were doing with Wet Wet. She's smart. She's gonna start the shit. So she can come back for Joselines Cabaret season 5. Andrea chimes in when Yummy and Wet Wet are arguing, and she tells Yummy, you don't have any remorse for putting a stripper heel in the back of that girl's head? What is wrong with you? And when she says that, Wet Wet picks up a water bottle and gets Yummy Wet Wet. She throws the water bottle at Yummy, and she walks around the bar, and Yummy and Wet Wet just, boom, they go at it. Wigs are flying, nails are flying. Now, Wet Wet, didn't Jocelyn just tell y'all? Jocelyn just told y'all at the club, if anybody fights the next 72 hours, you getting sent home. So if you get sent home, Wet Wet, it's on your own accord. I don't think she'll get home, but I don't think she will go home, but didn't Jocelyn just say that? She said she don't want nobody fighting for 72 hours or you're going home. Unless she was talking about Yummy and Natural only. I don't know. She may have been talking about just Yummy and Natural because they were the ones that were arguing. Now, next week, it looks like a big topic of conversation revolves around Abby and Abby being a transgender. Apparently, Jocelyn didn't know that because Abby starts telling, thank you for letting me come on this show and represent my community. And Jocelyn says, what community is that? And Abby says, I'm a transgender female. And Jocelyn's just like, now they could have edited it this way. This could have been an edit. But the way Jocelyn was looking was like, and I'm just like, oh God, I just really hope and pray that Jocelyn does not do any slick shit to try to embarrass or humiliate this girl on TV for being transgender. I really hope, because it's going to be hard to watch. And I don't want to watch it. And my thing is, here's the thing, Jocelyn. Let's not act like you didn't know. You knew. Zeus knew. It's not like this girl hid that she was trans when she applied. She told y'all. She's been auditioned for every single Zeus show that y'all have. Y'all know what's up. And Jocelyn knows what's up. So she better not go in here and play stupid and act like she didn't know that she brought a trans girl on, because you know what's up. Y'all have production meetings before you film. Y'all know what's going on. There's no way that Jocelyn didn't know. Do not make a mockery of Abby. Do not play her for stupid, Jocelyn, or we coming after your ass. Okay, what did y'all think of episode 3? I want to hear from you. And whose side are you on? Yummy P or Natural? Or I'm sorry, Pussy P. Yummy P or Natural? Whose side are you on? And would you feel comfortable being in the house with Andrea, who has the voodoo doll? I would love to hear from you guys on what you thought of this episode. Make sure you join the conversation below and leave me all your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget as well to subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notifications so you never miss a beat. Last but not least, support the channel by clicking the thumbs up button. When you click the thumbs up button, you're supporting Damien After Dark, and I appreciate it so much. You can also support by leaving a donation. I will put information in the description below on how you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can also donate using a super thanks, which is YouTube's way of you guys tipping us creators. Just be mindful that YouTube does take 50% of what you guys tip us, which is why I offer options like PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another after show and another episode. If you haven't already checked out the Baddies East cast reveal or the newest Blueface and Krishan Crazy in Love after show, be sure to do so right after this. I love you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. Mwah. See ya.